You know, that's the same.
Yeah.
We stop the video first.
You guys know that after we're considering the I mining. We have I don't know. On the team.
But yeah, because I was so into
Yeah, because you have to like.
but I did have computer software.
Yeah. I totally forgot. Yeah, so it's mining seminar. And so it's just kind of generally,
I'd rather.
we talk about like mining topics or mining adjacent topics.
Coming to see you.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have it so simple. I know the only part of the agency, So. Yeah, normally there'd be like pretty interesting topic.
You know why he sits up? Then you don't mind moving speaking.
I didn't know if speaking, I guess Bruce is also a vet, like.
Yeah.
And so,
Mostly.
no, veteran of the military. Yeah, yeah, right.
And like. The odds are school. My dad's also a
So,
short.
right, exactly. Yeah, I joined the military because I didn't want to. And I was really, I reminded me to know that. I'm smart. And loves stupid position ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. But for me, it was stupid. I remember one time being, we were used to like doing a run. It was like a 5 kilometer run, not that long. And I remember, no, I'm sorry, we did end up doing 5 miles. But my sergeant was like really upset at how. Yeah, you know, definitely. I ran 5 kilometers a lot faster than and I was like, that was the confidence less than mine. You know,
Literally.
and I was just like, yeah, like, no, that's not true. I wouldn't to you, bro. Trust me, I know. I'm just like, yes, they actually definitely get this. I can see the higher range.
That's too bad. So.
As like, yeah, I mean, that's my life sense actually. Boy, I know that was again. I'm it's like. And then, yeah. You didn't know I spoke Spanish.
It is what it is.
That's what I can do.
I mean, I would. What language do you speak? You don't have any other like.
That's like a user. I mean, that I.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know my.
And
I'm from America.
And like. Presented for like the next week.
But I'm there.
So that one is like it's worth it. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
He's an old man and everything I've been done, but yeah, any fun with her?
Yeah. There are people in my country they are doing like very good stuff in social responsibility. Oh, yeah, my degree, geology. I am, so I have to like choose. So yeah. Yeah. I get a pizza slide.
Sort of, but not. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thoughts and events. No sé qué otra vez he regresado a. Yo creo, voy a comer algo. Where's the dog? Hey, Tom. What's up? How you doing? Come on, man. 3,000 points, what is that? Oh. Oh, yeah. Pues mira, no termina la segunda, pero para seguir 4:45. Empieza no sé lo que hace. Come bien y cuando ya has comido ambos. También necesitamos algoritmos que roban algo.
I'm gonna have classes, so I have to go. Give me a number. It's close to campus. Text me whenever you want. Without the E. Yes. Oh, just once. So I'm finished this in the summer. But I was telling him, whenever you go to Peru, give me a call. I can give you the directions. You know, I'm yes, when I arrived here, I don't know if it was hard for you to find apartments, but it was really hard for me to find one. And someone helped me, so I never got to help a lot of people whenever they need.
This project. Yeah, I'm saying. So you can see it. So you're gonna do the.
Made a mistake. Of No, but I remember because last time they were doing this with Slomo guy, they were screeching a not a big but something similar to that. And I remember because when I watched that video, had done for, and I was just like, I would have been there. That way to get it can be. Really, or generally, especially like the front doors, like this thing, you would want to breathe in a way that you are blowing out of the frame, not into the frame. If you blow into the frame, you can actually make more. But I did see that video. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, or I should say, I mean, like, I saw it in the sense that I know it exists. I haven't seen that actually, you know, but. I remember the last time yeah, and it's hard to last time. I was just thinking, like, community makes up say, yeah, the school would want to to the school. I left it here.
Yay.
I know.
Well, I don't care. You guys, do you guys have a clicker or a clicker? No, no, okay, that's all right. If you, do you need it? No. You don't need it. Okay, you're gonna use just one? Yep, okay. I stopped the sharing. Let me see if we can.
My wife bought my daughter a hat. And being his hats on stuff, trying to get this in. I love it. You know, but-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's. Bruce, you're gonna do great.
I don't care, I'm good. There's only so much.
Maybe we ought to better. We're actually just here for the game. So.
You know what? Yeah. Seminar must have hit a level that they asked me.
There's like a 45-minute video of Pizza eating pizza.
I should turn the camera
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, we are about to start a seminar today. Today again, we've got a unique speaker or presenter. Of course, we are able to say this is our own. Everybody here in the mining departments, as long as you've been the undergrad or grad, you must have met with him. And then we've got a very interesting topic today, which I found very interesting for most of the students here. You might use that one or whatever comes from him. It might be used for the future. And the speaker we have today, of course, is the lab coordinator, a brown building here, very close, 10 feet off this room. It's been here for more than 10 years, very close, or more, just more than that. Is a lab coordinator right here, and then we've got a couple of experiences with working on different labs, which is what's right here. And but today he's going to share his own experience on how students can do networking and how you can build yourself just after graduations. You know, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mr. Both other presenters.
Well, thank you, everyone. Appreciate you guys showing up for something more than just pizza. We'll talk a little bit about myself. Who am I? I'm the happy Buddhist. So I was born in the late Holocene and geologist by training. Been here at Colorado School of Mines as the lab coordinator for mining engineering for 10 years, 2 months, and 2 days. Not like we're counting. Was over at MSU Denver for 4 years doing the same thing. Was a corporate trainer as well as a district sales manager for Ideas Incorporated. That was about 8 years. Was a field service analyst for General Dynamics, testing nuclear weapon systems for about 10 years. And I was in the Army for 8 years and 4 days. Best 8 years and 4 days of my life. It's like Boy Scouts with guns. So when I was a hiring manager, I went through at least 3,000 resumes, just about 100 interviews. Here at Mines, served on about 11 search committees. I gotta admit, a state position is the worst search committee ever because you have to read every single piece of paper in its entirety. Just keep in mind that with the 3,000 resumes, I had 3 piles, and typically most recruiters go through probably 6 to 8 seconds per resume. I was pretty good in that I actually gave it each resume about 25 seconds, but it very quickly went into 3 piles. The hell no, let's take a look at them again and let's get this person in. Okay, but we'll talk a little bit more about what takes place there. So a couple things to keep in mind. This is my experience. This is my opinion. Resumes, cover letters, elevator pitches, they come in a variety of different shapes and sizes. This is just my own, or what I find to be most effective. Okay, so there are many styles and opinions. I respect your opinion, even though they're wrong. But if you guys haven't noticed, I don't take myself very seriously. So, you know, I think the biggest thing is hopefully you get something out of it and maybe have a little fun while doing it. So what it's all about, the commonality between elevator pitches, cover letters, your resume is that it's about your brand. You're selling yourself and your brand. Please always keep that in mind. Whenever you guys are online and you put some drinking game or something on your Facebook page, that's representing your brand, okay? So just kind of be smart about what you're doing. Developing and selling your brand, it does take work. It does take effort. So it's something that you have to constantly work at. Please don't wing it. There's been so many times I've gone up to our booth at whether it's Mine Expo, AEMA, the SME conference, and I listen to our students talking to folks from industry, and they're just winging whatever the heck they want to say, and it's really kind of embarrassing. I think everyone should have at least some part of an elevator pitch, so you can actually sound somewhat intelligent. Lots of help out there, right? Career Center, absolutely wonderful. LinkedIn, free program, easy for you to use. Definitely talk to friends and family, as well as faculty and staff. What I'd like to do is you wouldn't mind passing that. Thanks. So I'm all about systematic approaches. So if you don't know what you want to talk about on your resume or your cover letter or even your elevator speech, you're really winging it at that point, and you're really not coming across as well as you could. Really, your elevator pitch is typically your first step in talking to someone. You screw that up, you just screwed up your first approach to whatever the subject is. Is there enough? Okay, so what I typically do is I keep a form like this with me. It's on my computer. I constantly update it, highlight different things, delete different things. But what it comes down to is just really identifying things that you want to know. So first one, what are some traits or attributes companies expect from their employees? So let's start calling them out. Attributes and traits that companies want to see from employees.
Competence.
Competence. Okay. Hardworking. Hardworking. Wonderful. Keep on going.
Punctual.
Punctual.
Commitments.
I'm sorry?
Commitments.
Commitment?
Honest.
Innovation.
Innovation?
Honesty.
Honesty. Very good. Okay, and the list can go on and on and on, right? So couple things, look at my paper. All right. Things that I wrote. Hardworking, dependable, professional, willingness to learn, punctual, safety mindset, a can-do attitude, detail-oriented, reliable, motivated, strong work ethic, works well with others, problem solver, organized, proactive, focused, adaptable, productive, customer focused, positive outlook, ambitious, improvement focused, autonomous, collaborative, committed, hands-on experience, communicative. Oh, I said that twice. Confident, creative, enthusiastic, honest, humble, responsible, leadership skill, passionate, flexibility, teachable, solution focused, innovative, analytical. I mean, the list could go on and on. That's what's really important about this list is you create what you think companies are looking for, right? So the next column is, I think mine is different than yours. Next column is skills and experiences you offer. Is that correct? All right, so what kind of skills do you guys offer? Well, I guess something that you can offer to a company. What kind of skills do you have? Critical thinking. Okay.
Credentials.
Creds. Anything else?
Planning.
All right. So let's call it project management. Anything else?
Teamwork.
Teamwork. So how about other things like, oh, let's see. Budget management, managerial skills, problem solving skills, experienced trainer, sales skills, customer retention and development, customer service skills, conflict de-escalation, first aid and AED training, safety management, crisis management, computer modeling, coding. You know, and the list basically can go on and on. And just kind of go through and just list all the different skills that you have, right? Third list, what are your expectations of the company that you would want to work for?
Safety.
Safety, right? You want to have a safety culture. So again, just go through and just kind of create your own list. Things that I put down there, appropriate compensation. You want meaningful work. I want to see transparency out of a company. Effective leadership. Commitment to their employees. Ethical business practices. Gender pay equality. Strong safety culture, appreciation and recognition. To be treated fairly and with dignity. Open communications. Meaningful vision and goals. Flexibility, positive work culture, solid benefits package, no micromanagement, willingness to train, career growth, power or empowerment, fun. I'd like my workplace to be fun too. Strategic corporate social responsibility, supportive and provide security to their employees. Okay, so I think once you kind of have all of these things, you can actually start to play around with the different words that you use. Ideally, what you do is once you create those first two columns, just start to highlight the ones that you actually have. Let's say for the traits and attributes, the first column, start highlighting the different things that you currently have that you can actually give to a company as well.
It's rules.
Huh?
It's blind.
Yes, I know, you're supposed to fill it in yourself.
Oh, you said highlighting.
Well, highlight it when you get done. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna go talk to the wall right now. Thanks, Lee. All right. So let's kind of get into the elevator pitch. So we're going to come back to this list here very shortly. So what incarnation is an elevator pitch? Okay, it's your first contact and your brand pitch. Sets the first impression. Typically, you want to have it very short as possible. Absolutely max, no more than 30 seconds. It's adaptable. So keep it concise. These are kind of like what I've always done for my 4 steps with an elevator pitch. Biggest thing is practice. Okay, don't wait till you're in front of somebody from industry before you start practicing. What I want to do is, these are some of the things on my list. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start to pull some of these keywords out and start using them in my pitch. So, first situation, elevator pitch. I want to introduce myself. Hello, Karen, I'm Bruce. Very nice to meet you. Summarize what you do. So I'm the mining engineering laboratory coordinator at Colorado School of Mines, but I also work on student recruitment. I'm very passionate, underline, right, about establishing creative, again, and positive or proactive solutions to develop our recruitment efforts. Explain what I want. And when I saw your profile on LinkedIn, I noticed that we both share the same passion for student recruitment. I thought it might be mutually beneficial for us to learn from each other's experiences and the call to action. Since you'll be at the SME annual conference, I'd like to meet over a cup of coffee and share our insights. Would that be okay if I contact you and set up a time and date? Okay, so again, you just want it short and concise. It's once you kind of have the background, you can kind of develop it into whatever situation you want. This next situation here, actually, it's probably too small for everybody to read. Okay, introduce yourself. Hello, Karen. I'm Bruce. So nice to meet you. I'm a graduate student working on my master's degree in mining engineering at Colorado School of Mines, where I'm passionate about improving safety protocols and methane mitigation in longwall mining operations. Due to your experience in this area, I'm hoping we might be able to learn from your experience about safety issues in longwall operations that haven't yet been investigated. Could I contact you and hopefully set up a date and time where we could chat? Okay. Again, here, another situation. Hi, Karen, I'm Bruce. Very nice to meet you. I'm a senior in mining engineering at Colorado School of Mines, and I'm focused and highly enthusiastic about working in the aggregate sector. My goal is to be able to work with a family-owned aggregate mining company like Bunyan Group, since you're known for your ethical business practices, safety culture, and positive work culture. Could I ask you a few questions about how I can improve my marketability to a company like yours and the best approach to applying for a position when I graduate this coming May? So again, it's very easy to adapt what you have as long as you follow the basic structure. You can just about hit any situation. So again, all we did was we started to pull some of these keywords out, and as long as you have it written down and you're using it as just a working document, you'll always have it available. So the elevator pitch can be used for just about anything. Your job search, looking for mentorship. You want some industry insight, whether you're doing research or you want to know what to do research on. Just asking for help. Partnership opportunities, developing professional relationships, which is hugely important. Selling ideas, collaborating. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So I urge you to strongly consider looking at creating an elevator pitch. Just do a basic outline of what you want to talk about and practice it under different situations. You know, if you're talking to somebody at a booth over at Mine Expo, you're going to definitely approach it differently than if you are job hunting or if you're looking for somebody to be a mentor of yours. Jeez. Okay. Okay, that's good.
There's a question.
Yeah, shoot.
For the introduction. More dependent for like the situation you're in, but it's the title you need to address. When would you use like a doctor or a professor title?
You know, it's always safe to use Mr. Doctor, you know, whatever. So most of the times that you're going to be meeting people, either you are introduced to them and somebody will address them as, you know, Dr. So-and-so. If that's the case, until you get to know the person and you ask otherwise, just use their title. It's easier for me since I'm old. So everybody gets a first name, but you know, there are some people that, you know, if we're talking C-level executives, I might very well start off with a Mr. or whatever it is. So it really depends. Do it on your comfort level, but it's never a bad idea to just use their title. Yes.
Yeah, it's great advice, Bruce, and I would say it's always easier to go from something more formal to less. If you start out less formal, it's hard then to go the other direction.
Yeah, it's, you know, going up and talking to somebody, say, hey, oh, chica, You know, I mean, that's probably a bad idea. So just play it by ear. Cover letters. So we're going to kind of breeze through as much as we can very quickly because I think questions and answers are probably most important. There is a recent trend to not use cover letters. I personally hate that idea. Reason being, you know, again, your resume is probably going to get eyeballs for 6 to 8 seconds, maybe a little bit more. But if that's all you have, you want to kind of give them an insight as to who you are. So it really entices the person to take a look at your resume a little bit closer. And of course, it's an expression of who you are. The resume, for the most part, is a rather bland description of yourself. It doesn't give them the insight into who you are. A cover letter certainly could.
Bruce, I agree with you. When I was, hiring people, the cover letter is the written version of an elevator pitch. That's the way to look at it. And if you just get at least from my standpoint, if you just got a blank resume, you couldn't tell as much as you could from just a couple of paragraph cover letter.
You know, and I guess whenever I hired folks, I hired on fit a lot more than I did what the person knew. What a person knows about a particular position, that can be trained. But having the right fit, make sure that they blend into the culture of the company or whatever team it happens to be, I think is a lot more important. And you get that from a cover letter a lot more than you would a resume. Exactly right. So again, we're going to use the same list. So this time we're doing it the ones in red. So I know it's pretty small. I'm going to read it to you. So this is from Ms. Bippity Boopity. She can be found at 123 South Golden Highway. Phone number 303-867-5309. Does anybody know that? Okay. All the old people are like, oh, awesome. So ideally, you always have the person's address up there. Okay. In this day and age, it's a lot easier to find out who the hiring person is or the recruiter is, just by doing some basic searches online. So dear Miss Smalls, my name is Bippity Boopity, a student working on my degree in musical technology and engineering at Colorado School of Mines. Though I have limited experience within the industry, I do have a strong willingness and desire to learn, again, highlighted in red. Here's a little word. Oh, I am very motivated to develop hands-on experience and absorb all I can through my coursework as well as internships. The internship ABC Engineering Company is providing seems to be the perfect opportunity for me to develop my skills and experience, and I ask for your consideration in this position. I am very excited to be majoring in musical technology and engineering and believe I am a great fit for this internship. If accepted, I would be able to bring these skills with me to the company. And again, just going through professionalism in the workplace. Professionalism was one of the lists. Excellent verbal and written communication skills, again. Punctuality, safety as a priority, strong work ethic, taking the initiative, desire to learn a new skill, a can-do attitude, and hands-on equipment experience. I believe with my strengths and the desire to learn and blah, 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 blah. So what's really nice about this is you're kind of hitting on the points that are important to a company. And guess what? In this day and age, unfortunately, we have to deal with Ishmael was looking through the door. So in this day and age, people are running their stuff through some sort of screening program. They're picking out all of the keywords. So if you start to pull those keywords that potentially could be on there, your chances of getting your stuff through gets much higher, okay? As opposed to just winging it. This is actually a version of a cover letter that I helped one of our students with. And this got this particular person into an incredible internship with absolutely no experience in the department, having taken one class. And because of this cover letter and of course her subsequent resume, she was able to get in, and it was incredible. So, you know, something to kind of keep in mind. If you start hitting the keywords, it really, really does help. So, ooh. Okay. All right, keep it short and concise. This one was actually really good. I found this person online on Facebook. Person's name is CV Chick. But she listed 6 different things that actually really make sense. For your cover letter, don't repeat what's in your CV or resume. Tailor your cover letter for each position. Outline the values that you bring to that company. Explain how the organization values matches your own. Highlight relevant successes and show your personality. Okay, I think this is where it's truly important, is just show who you are. They can get the rest of the stuff that your experiences from your resume. All right. I'll always have somebody review and edit. I think we've all gone through writing a report. We know what we're trying to say, but it doesn't necessarily come out the same way on your report. Same thing here. Just have somebody take a look at it. They're going to catch the mistakes that, you know, you just blows right by you. But hugely important there. Because really, you only do have one chance to figure out what. Bye, Nicole. Sure. All right, so now for the resume. Okay. 6 to 8 seconds again. Try to use bullets rather than sentences and paragraphs. I think everybody's probably seen someone's resume that I would consider the big black blob. What you do is you look at that piece of paper and there's this big black blobs of paragraphs throughout the resume. Okay, is anyone going to be able to read that in 6 to 8 seconds? No. I had one that was 9 pages of a solid black blob, and unfortunately it was for state, so I had to read the whole damn thing. Honestly, if I were working on an industry, that would immediately go into the hell no pile. Okay. What you want is you want something very sparse, but contains all of the information that hopefully you'll be able to pass on. Again, this time we're doing all of the different things in blue, things like customer retention, willingness to learn, customer focus, all of those things down here. What I always suggest is please be very, very careful with your formatting. Be consistent with the formatting. If you use 3-letter abbreviation for your month, continue that through the entire document. You know, things like acronyms. Spell it out the first time, acronym behind it in parentheses, then use the acronym for the rest of the time. What you want is somebody to pick that up and very, very quickly be able to understand who you are and what kind of experience you're bringing to the table. I never tell folks that, you know, restrict your stuff to just 1 page. Chances are, well, most of us in here are looking at graduate degrees. Even if you're a young person, you can always find things that are really important that you could put on. Just because it's not an official job, maybe you were the president of the robotics club, for example. I mean, that taught you leadership skills, hopefully. It hopefully, you know, provided you with time management skills. And, you know, the list just goes on and on. I think the one thing that I really, really appreciate is when people start to look at quantifiable lines that they can add in there. So things like, so up here I have musical technologists, so establish customer relief or retention surveys and increase sales by 15%. You know, stuff like that. I always told people, it's like if you're a custodian, okay? As a custodial staff member, I swept, I mopped, I dusted, I scraped gum off the floor. You know, it's like, okay, I don't care what you did. I want to know what value you brought to the company. You know, we went through and we changed everything out to LED lights through my suggestion, and we ended up saving 22% energy costs for lighting in the company. Right? You brought value to them. I was employee of the month 3 times in the past 3 years, things like that. I think if you make it quantifiable, you know, people will definitely look at you a lot differently. They don't care that you swept and mopped and scraped gum off the floor, but they want to know again what value you bring. And again, please have somebody review. Lastly, LinkedIn. I wasn't going to talk about it, but how many people here have a LinkedIn account? Wonderful. How many people have updated their LinkedIn account in the last month? Oh, wonderful. How many has been? It's been 6 months. Oh, it's so sad. A year? Who set up their account and never did anything else with it? Right? But you know what? I just cannot express how important LinkedIn has been for me. You know, let's just put all these up. Okay. LinkedIn provides an ideal method for contacting folks, right? You want to know about a particular company, guess what? You can find a person in that company, directly message them and find out a little bit more about the company or them. If you want to establish some sort of professional relationship with that person, guess what? Fire off your elevator pitch directly to them through Messenger. Chances are they're going to want to help you. Okay, if you're not being a doofus and asking for a job from the very get-go, chances are they're going to be there to help you out. Especially if you're looking for mentorship, you're looking for information, maybe things about their career. Guess what? People don't ever get to talk about themselves. Nobody asks them. But if you ask about them and their career, you know, I was just wondering how you managed to go from a custodial staff to the CFO of this particular company within your 35-year time with the company. I'd like to learn about that. You know, when we get a chance, do you mind if I stop by, grab you a cup of coffee, and we can sit down and talk about it? You know, these are really effective ways to establish these relationships. And keep in mind, people, well, who you know gets you the job, okay? That's for the most part pretty darn true. If you have those relationships and you develop them, sort of having a warm call. So basically you can say, hey, you know what, Bill, would you mind, you know, we've known each other for a while. I think you have a pretty clear understanding of who I am. I'm looking at this position with the company. Would you mind going over and just maybe dropping my resume off at their desk? That's a lot better than calling the person up and saying, I'm looking for a job. Can you please look at my resume? Right? Happens all the time. Super easy to get people internships and jobs after, or you know, if we actually have somebody helping you out. Build those relationships, hugely important. Yeah, really give people the opportunity to talk about themselves. That's a really, really powerful method to get in the door. And I think that's actually it. Oh yeah, you can directly message your elevator pitch to the person, right? So let's chat. You guys have any questions, any comments? Just keep in mind, this is all my personal experience and what I like to see. I'm sorry, before we go on, couple things that were always ended up in my no pile, okay? Improper email addresses. Okay, use a professional email address. Goodness gracious, we can get Gmail for free. Mine is bruce.yoshioka@gmail.com. I think probably one of the most memorable. The person, oh gosh, the email address was pornstar'sdream@gmail.com. If you can imagine, that went into the hell no pile. Okay. Personal descriptions of yourself on your resume. This was for outside sales position, and the woman had sent a picture of herself as well as her bust size. I'm like, what in the hell are you selling? That went into the no pile. Things like colored paper. Oh, goodness. Pink, blue, purple, all of these things all went to the hell no pile. I didn't even read it. Okay, these are just personal issues that I have. But you know what? If you're looking at a professional position, well, then you should be expected to act professionally. I think white is absolutely perfect. Maybe a very, very light gray, or probably at the very far out there, but still okay, it would be like a parchment type paper. Aside from that, just use regular, regular paper. Please don't ever print front and back with your resume. Do it on multiple pages and staple it properly. Pictures, oh, please, no pictures. I don't care what a person looks like. I'm worried about how they're going to fit and their overall competencies. Okay, all of those things directly straight into the hell no pile. And of course, the big black blob. Okay, that definitely goes in there. Lee, you had a question?
Yeah, I would like to borrow some of your experience in this. From my personal elevator pitch. How do you handle these elevator pitches when you have no option to introduce yourself? Let me give you 3 simple examples from my experience. All of them with main managers, huge corporate, all of them. First one asking me, yes, before we will introduce ourselves to each other, WTI index went down 0.5 points last night. What do you think will be impacting our company? Upfront. Second experience. Trump won the elections. How do you think will be the impact on the mining industry? Third one, and my favorite one, is a good one. We had a fatality a couple days ago, and we are still dealing with that. Did you hear the news? What do you think we should do? And happens that they never had a fatality. They were just testing if I was aware of the news. How do you handle these situations?
You know what? I think for me, I would probably just answer them first and then take a break and just say, by the way, my name is, and then and squeeze it in. You want them to know what your name is, right? Well, except for the people, if they're gonna pull some BS like faking a fatality, which is absolute garbage, and that's a really, honestly, to me, a very shitty thing for a person or a company to do, to make light of that type of situation. I certainly wouldn't want to work for the damn company anyway. Yeah, you know what? I think in that situation, I just answer the question and then squeeze in who I am and who you are, right? Not just your name, but start with the elevator pitch if you can. I think people with that kind of approach have a really sort of, maybe not necessarily traditional, but sort of non-inclusive way of handling people. We're all human, right? I mean, I expect to be treated as such. And if somebody disregards that and doesn't want to know about me, they just want to know what my answer is, I'd probably look elsewhere. I know sometimes we just have to make do, and and just deal with the cards that are given us. But yeah, that's kind of a really knuckle dragging way of approaching people and employment.
Yeah, I just mentioned this because for the new student about to graduate, these interviews are never according to the book, and you need to be extremely flexible for all sorts of
Yes.
situations.
Absolutely.
That's what I am trying to address.
No, that's absolutely correct. I mean, there are persons out there that want to talk to you and find out about who you are. They're easy to talk to. When I was in sales management and sales training, first thing we used to do was help our sales reps identify what type of personality they're dealing with. I think the easiest one for me was people who are that sort of executive, director type personality, because they're super easy to talk to. Even though they're buttheads, they're really easy to get information from. They're no nonsense. I love people like that. A lot of people get really scared of folks like that, but you know what? It's kind of fun. Every situation is definitely going to be different, so you just have to approach it and be flexible in the way you provide your elevator talk. I think that's the biggest thing, is just keep practicing different situations. For the new folks that are just coming into industry or just getting ready to graduate, I think it's hugely important for you guys to go out and just practice on each other. To me, it just makes a lot of sense. You want to be prepared. You definitely don't want to just be caught off guard, because, with your tongue hanging on the floor, not knowing what to say, it's a bit embarrassing. Right?
Do you think it's more of a benefit or detriment to have use of like AI to assist you in your resume building and cover letters, all that kind of stuff?
I want people to know who I am, right? I want, things like my cover letter, my elevator talk. I want people to know who I am, and hopefully have some truthfulness and honesty in the way I approach that, what I say. AI, I don't know. I don't know. It's so odd to me. Maybe call me a traditionalist, but I kind of like to talk to people, and use my own voice rather than trying to use somebody else's voice. So all of these things, all of these suggestions are just suggestions, things that you can actually look at and say, hey, you know what, I kind of like to do it this way because that's the way I am. And to me, I think that's the most important. If your own personality shines through, that's ideal. Anything?
Yes.
Yes.
On the resume, if you have two emails, like the Gmail and the school mail, which one do you think you can use? Do you recommend to use those?
That one, I don't think it really matters. I think if you have a decent Gmail address, you can certainly use that. No, I don't think that part really matters. As long as you keep it somewhat sane. Yeah, so don't use porn star stream. That one's already taken. But yeah, and along with all of that is, by all means, go out and take a look at just do a search on yourself, and you find all the crazy things that are out there about yourself, and start going through the process of cleaning up your profiles. Okay. All the underage drinking pictures Ryan has of himself. Brian's like, oh yeah. No, just clean those up. It just makes sense because 10 years ago when I was doing the hire fire stuff, it was new. So the internet, doing searches on people was fairly new. But at that point, it was like 96% of companies were still going to try and do a search on you. Now that's easily 100%, I'm sure. So if you clean that up, hopefully you'll have profile that really kind of demonstrates who you are. And I think that's hugely important. Yes.
Okay, there are times where your job experiences don't necessarily fit let me say, the internship position or the job duties required for the specific job you're applying to. So in such cases, what do you have to really highlight on to have a job?
I think if there's sort of a mismatch of your particular skill set, I mean, I think if you look at that first column and you start to fill in all of these different things that you believe a company is looking for, chances are those aren't the things that they were really looking for. And if you start to highlight those things, other things that, you know, your experiences might not necessarily perfectly match, but I guarantee that, you know, if you had things like, you know, strongly believes in a culture of safety and, you know, things like that, you know, things that you could do from your third column or second column, easily transferable. And people are going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, you know, if you have experience with heavy equipment. And, you know, you can kind of stretch things. I mean, obviously don't lie, but, you know, kind of try to find the best matches and just use those. That's why I love having my list. Very easy because I just start picking and pulling and, oh yeah, that one works here. So I'll try to insert it wherever I can. It really does help. Anyone else? Bill?
Bruce, I got a question.
Yes.
So,
Oh god, the heckling starts.
yeah, part of the tomatoes that I choose. But no, so in speaking with like recruiters, a lot of times they will tell me like, hey, really highlight the fact that like you're a veteran. And then I have kind of like that reaction of like, well, I also don't want to be like super blunt about it and just being like, hey, I'm a veteran, give me a job, you know. But when they talk about like, you know, be blunt that you're a veteran, and I'm like, well, then I just like put that in my job experience. I'm a veteran. I don't need to like also put that in my headline.
I don't necessarily do that, but you know, I think there are certainly some maybe more subtle ways of doing it. You know, under your experiences, definitely under your experiences. I don't know if I mean, I'm proud to be a veteran as well,
Yeah.
but I'm not the type to stick it at the very top and say, you know, I'm a veteran.
Yeah, because there's a part of it, you would understand that of being in service in the military, like you're not like that. Some people aren't that loud about it.
Yeah.
Some people really are. But there's that kind of a dichotomy there of, well, like I am proud of having been in the military, but like I don't throw it in people's faces.
Yeah.
And so then with like a resume where they're like, hey, make sure you're really obvious that you're a veteran. And I'm like, do I like just print it on red, white, and blue paper? What do I do?
Yeah, big flag. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
No, you know, I think things like that, I totally understand because being Japanese, you're not supposed to talk about yourself. You're not supposed to tout, you know, your, you know, different accomplishments and stuff. It's something that, you know, we just have to get past, you know, for a resume. Probably one of the few times I actually make that exception.
Okay.
What I typically would do is, you know, if you don't have a cover letter, you really should. And for that, you know, you could very easily insert, I was in the Marine Corps, and through that experience, I gained leadership skills, you know, blah, 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 all the different wonderful things. And so, you know, you can kind of tie that in with everything else, all of your other experiences. But yeah, I mean, put it in there. If it's important to them, put it in there. What the heck?
Okay.
Yeah, I think I definitely would do that. But I wouldn't just like put it as a headline. I just kind of insert it subtly so they can see. But you know, chances are you're still gonna have to go through whatever other paperwork, and chances are there's that beautiful check mark that we get to mark on there and say, yes, we are a veteran.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, it's honorably discharged veteran. I guess that's a big difference there.
It is on the issue.
Any other questions? I think we're just about out of time, so. Yes.
Comment, Bruce. Been hired hundreds of people over 40 years. Have given some really good, applicable, well-targeted advice, so. You all should be listening, that is all really good information. As far as the resume and the interviews, if you want to be curious and stay genuine.
Exactly. And keep in mind that interviews are both ways, right? You're looking at what kind of company you're going to be working for. That's why I have that third list, things that, you know, hopefully, the company, you know, will have things that you really desire. You know, I want to have fun. I want to get compensated well. I'll work my ass off for you if you give me your share, right? Transparency, ethical treatment of employees, as well as ethical business standards. That's like way the heck on the very top of my list. You know, I'm sure it was not on the list of things like Reacts would have had, but you know what? It's fine. If you look and you talk to them enough, guess what? Those things are going to come out. And you want there to be a good fit, not just you fitting into the company culture, but the company culture fitting around who you are, right? That's when you actually get to a job that you can actually love and actually go to work every day not feeling like it's a job. Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks. Do you have a question?
Yeah, just a quick one on sometimes when the company states some of the words that they expect as skills and you are drafting a cover letter, is it okay to pick a few that fits into you?
Yes, as long as it's truthful, right? I have 25 years in Python and it's like, well, it's been like 25 days, but that's close enough. No, I mean, obviously just if it's truthful, then by all means, yeah. But I mean, if they're showing it on the job description, chances are, and it matches kind of with your list that you created of what you think is that they're looking for. Absolutely. Yeah. Don't parrot everything that they say, obviously, but you know, you can make yourself look good. Just be honest, and you know, it's not that big of a deal. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys all so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, one more simply, especially for the constructions, we're looking for speakers as well. We think you have a very nice copy. You can let us know so that the kind of case you can go for. Or if you know somebody that might be a right? Okay, thank you always.
So I'll let you stop sharing and everything else. Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Is that okay? Yeah. Yeah.